As we approach the conclusion of this year's annual meeting, with only 1 week remaining, welcome back. If you haven't already, please cast your ballot online or via email. For those opting to mail in your vote, ensure that you submit your vote promptly in order to allow sufficient time for the postal system. It is now my pleasure to introduce Kevin Keiser, your cooperative CEO. Kevin will provide an update on the past year for our cooperative. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you, Wayne. Hello. Welcome to our 2024 annual meeting and year-end review. As many of you know, your cooperative has spent the last 4 years planning, engineering, designing, and building a fiber-to-the-home network that would bring broadband internet service to all of our members. Our goal was to eliminate the information gap that existed in Northeast Indiana so that our members had access to the same quality of life as our urban cousins living in the larger cities across America. So during the spring of 2022, we began the physical work by first making changes to our current electric infrastructure so that it would be capable of handling the additional load and height requirements of the new fiber optic cable and devices. Later that summer, we started the process of building the primary line and adding devices for service drops. And in October of 2022, we began delivering amazingly fast, limitless internet service to our first members. Originally, we thought this process of building the entire primary line would take 3 to 4 years to complete. However, thanks to our members' support and our board of directors' leadership, we completed this task in December of 2023, an astonishing 18 months that included the building of 655 miles of primary fiber line, 3 communication huts, and 2 direct internet access points. Today we have over 4,200 members either connected to the network or in the process of being connected, and we are getting 3 to 5 new requests for service on a daily basis. So should this level of interest continue, we believe we could have over 5,000 accounts by this time next year. Obviously, building a state-of-the-art broadband system, even in the best of times, can be expensive. But thanks to economic pressures brought about by the pandemic and rising inflation, the project did cost more than expected at $32 million. Equity dipped to 31.5%, but from a financial perspective, the worst is behind us. Our revenue is growing with each new connection, and we are on our way to covering debt service and repaying the capital investment. But it will be a slow and steady process. In the meantime, we will continue to try to expand the network to include as many members as possible, with the possibility of expanding beyond the cooperative footprint down the road. Unfortunately, we will have to defend ourselves from some for-profit telecommunication companies and their use of questionable business practices. You see, for years, companies did nothing to improve the level of service in our area, which left us further and further away from the information superhighway, while their stockholders continued to see greater rates of return shouldered by our members. Recently, many of these same companies began offering low monthly rates with undisclosed hidden fees, including hookup charges, modem rental, and contract limits. So don't let them fool you into thinking that they are now concerned about meeting your needs. If they were really interested in that, they would have improved their level of service and price years ago. Remember, Steuben County REMC is not interested in playing games. We are your non-for-profit electric and broadband cooperative, concerned about service and quality of life, not paying dividends to people who don't even live here. In addition to this heavy workload, last February, Mother Nature decided to cover the area with an ice storm for the ages, with some places receiving 3/4 of an inch of heavy precipitation, which wreaked havoc on our electric service. In order to restore the hundreds of downed and damaged lines, we brought in 6 outside operation crews from neighboring cooperatives and a subcontractor. After 3 long days and $250,000, the repairs were complete and power was restored. And I can't thank all of our employees and outside help enough. Their hard work and dedication in some very difficult working conditions was simply amazing. Finally, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our current wholesale power market. I know it seems we talk about this area of our industry every year, particularly as it relates to the type of fuel used to generate power and how legislative and regulatory constraints have influenced price and a transition away from carbon-based resources to renewables like wind and solar. But a very different challenge is developing on our horizon, and this one involves capacity and the future availability of power. With renewables providing more and more of the national portfolio, their output from a capacity standpoint is well below what we had in our traditional baseload generating units. Adding to this problem is the fact that there are only a handful of new generation and transmission facilities on the drawing board, and the approval process and construction lead time would indicate there is no quick fix to our problem. So in order for us to help do our part, here at the distribution level, we are working with our wholesale power provider, Wabash Valley Power, to develop a load management program that uses existing and new residential generation units that can reduce our peak load at critical times within the market, thus freeing up valuable capacity and giving our members another possible way to have some control on price. We hope to have all of the details ready later this summer, so please stay tuned. As we know, time will have a way of clarifying the importance of our efforts this past year. Will they redefine our organization and become as important as I believe in improving the quality of life here in Northeast Indiana? We will have to wait and see. The one thing I'm certain of is we accomplished them collectively in the truest sense and spirit of cooperation, which could have only been done by your cooperative. Thank you.